Hey y'all, No here. Well, today we're going to be talking about 3 different ways to go to the bathroom inside of a van. Now, it's something that every van lifer has to deal with, and it's something that you hope you'll never have to do, but you never know. So the first way is the one that is every man's best friend, and that is the old pee jug. And of course, for men, it's pretty simple. For women, I guess you're kind of out of luck, unless you're more ingenious than I could be, probably. So that's pretty elementary and something you probably already know about. But what about number 2? That's what always makes you nervous. That's the thing that you hope you'll never have to do, but you can't ever get it out of your mind that you might have to. And so 5 years ago, when I built this van to start with, that was the last thing that I had to deal with, deciding how I was going to handle that. And of course, you always like to think, well, I'll be able to get to a public bathroom somewhere in time. But then you think, what about if I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and just really have to go really bad? What then? And that's what possessed me and motivated me to buy something for in case of an emergency like that. And so the thing that I bought is this piece of equipment right here, which is called a cliche toilet. And the way it basically works is that you've got 2 reservoirs, one of which is right here, and you put regular water in here along with this blue chemical that's pretty much the same thing, I think, as they put in porta-johns. And so the way it works is, so you got water in the top reservoir. You got another reservoir that is down here on the bottom, and that's where all your poop and stuff goes. And so the way it works is it's got like a little trap door. So what you do is you slide this out, and what that trap door does is it opens the passageway that goes down into the bottom receiver tank. And so you do your business, and then you've got a little pump over here. You pump that, and that pumps water down into the toilet bowl, washes out the toilet bowl, and then you close this door back up, and that seals it off, keeps all the odor in that tank. And of course, this magic blue chemical over time breaks down all of that waste, and then eventually, though, you're faced with the fact that you got to empty it. Okay, and so I am not an expert, and I'll tell you why. I bought this thing, but over 5 years, I managed to never have to use it. And so, and the reason I never used it is because it's so disgusting to think about, and you have to find a dump station and pay for, pouring out this little tiny, compared to an RV tank. And so I just always managed to be able to not have to use it. But at least it was there in case of a really bad emergency that I could have used it. Now, the thing about this kind is that, as you can see, it's pretty bulky, takes up a good amount of space inside of your van. And so what I would have to do every night before I inflated my air mattress, went to bed, is so I'd have to rearrange the whole van practically. And so this guy would have to go up here, then my bed would be right here, and then when I got back up in the morning, everything would have to be rearranged all over again. And so I kind of came up with a little bit different idea. It's not completely new. It's kind of like, you may have seen what they call composting toilets. And so this is similar to that. And you can buy them for as little as like $150. I've seen them go all the way up to $900. But even $150 was more than I wanted to pay. And really, they don't work the way, they're still pretty disgusting to deal with anyway. And I'm not an expert on them, but I saw that, I kind of liked the idea, but I felt like I could do a little bit better. And so after doing some cat sitting for my niece a couple of times last year while she was on vacation, God kind of put this idea in my mind later on. Well, if a cat can do it, why can't I? Okay, so when I was cat sitting for my niece, she had indoor cats. They used a cat litter box, and so they would do their business during the day or whatever, and then at the end of the day, I would go in and scoop out the poop. And it really wasn't that disgusting, because the way that cat litter works these days, it kills the odor. It kind of surrounds the poop and the pee too, for that matter, into clumps. Then you just take this scoop and scoop it into a bag, and it's not that bad. And so I thought, if a cat can do it, I should be able to do it. I've got opposable thumbs. And so here's kind of what I came up with. And I like it for a couple of different reasons. One is that it's not going to take up a lot of space in my van. And the other is that, there's none of the liquid mess that's inside of this guy to have to empty out, or nothing like is in the composting toilet, where all that stuff stays in there until it fills up a bin, and then you have to go empty it. But this way, it's going to work just like it does for cats. At the end of the day, you empty it. And so here's what it looks like. So this is my catch bin where the cat litter is. And then what I've got here is actually the toilet seat that was on this guy. So what I did was, I just took a piece of, looks like 1/2-inch plywood, attached this toilet seat to it. Okay, and then so when you're getting ready to use it, I'll actually go all the way from the beginning and show you how it's actually going to be set up. Okay, I haven't done it in a while, so just bear with me. Oh, that way. Okay. So, this milk crate actually folds up flat like this. And I got this from Walmart, and get here where you can see the brand of it. The brand name is Clever Made, and they actually had these in stock at my local Walmart. And originally I was just looking to buy just an ordinary milk crate, but then I saw these and thought, wow, that's going to take up a lot less space than an ordinary milk crate would. So to use it, you just unfold the sides, lock it in place. Now, let me give you this liability statement here. Obviously, this milk crate was not built for the direct purpose of sitting on. So, I want you to realize that I weigh 136 pounds, and most adults might weigh more than that. So just because I can safely sit on this and not collapse the thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can. But you might be able to. All right, so we got our milk crate, and then so I've got a piece of shock cord. This lid actually does snap on and off, but I actually put a piece of shock cord around the box so that in case it does turn over, the lid won't come off. And then I found this this container that is just the right size to fit into this milk crate. And let me give you a close-up of that. If you can see it from over here. Or over there. Okay, so hopefully I'm holding that close enough and still enough that you can see it. If you can't, I'll give another close-up later on at the end. Right, and so what you do is I've got a couple of pieces of wire that don't actually go through the wall of the container, but there's some little ribs on the corners that you can drill a small hole into and just make you like a little bucket to set it over in there with. And the reason I did that was because once you get this in here, it is such a close fit. You can't really get your fingers in there beside it to lift it back out again. So just put that inside there, and then you want to fold these handles so that they're on the outside of the milk crate. Then you take your toilet seat, and obviously I didn't have to put a toilet seat like this on. I could have just sat right here, but that's not going to be very comfortable. This is a lot more comfortable than just sitting on a hole. And so, fully clothed, let me attempt to demonstrate how it would work, or how it does work. So I actually did try it out this morning, and it worked really, really well. So, I decided to not let the number one go inside of the cat litter container. So, for me, I'm going to use my pee bottle right here, and then only the poop is going to go inside of the cat litter container. All right, so use your imagination a little bit. So I finished, and then, so you're just going to basically reverse the process. All right, so you take the seat off. And we're going to lift it up out of there. There's nothing in here, by the way. So then you're going to have your business down there. So what you're going to do is just kind of rake the kitty litter up over the top of your business. And something you can do, and don't let this gross you out because there's nothing dirty in here, okay? Something you can do to help yourself out is just kind of rake the kitty litter up against the sides so that if you do happen to get a little bit off center, gravity will help you and it'll roll down to the middle. And then just put the lid back on, put your shock cord back around it to make sure that nothing gets spilled in your van that you don't want to have to clean up the hard way. And then you just let it sit for a few hours, and then it's ready to scoop out. And you put it in a bag and just dispose of your own business just like you would any cat of owner's business. Whatever way you would dispose of poop bags for cats, dispose of your own the same way. So maybe that'll help you out, maybe it won't, but again, the neat thing about this particular system is that, you're looking at a lot less space, and really, this could stand upright like that. It's a lot more versatile. To me, a lot less yucky to think about dealing with. And this particular system, again, it's going to be in case of emergency. This is not going to be a daily thing that I'm going to do for two reasons. It's just so much easier to go to a public bathroom. But the other thing is, a box cat litter, the cheapest box cat litter I could find was $11, which, that's a little bit more than, I don't want to be spending $11 every week to have the convenience of going to the bathroom inside the van. So anyway, hopefully you got the brand name on all of this stuff. If it doesn't come out clear, I'll show a close-up of it again. Okay, I think you could see the brand name of the milk crate pretty well in the original video, but I'm going to give you a little bit closer up view of, here's the barcode, and again, I got this at my local Walmart store, as well as this particular storage bin that was just the right size to fit inside. As you can see, it's 12.5 inches by 12 inches by 6.5 inches. Again, this was in stock at my local Walmart, and it's really a good fit. At the end, but for now, hope that helps you out. Thanks for watching. Let me know what kind of results you get, or if you tried, or if you think it's a crazy idea. The most important thing is be safe with this. Don't sit on something that's going to break underneath you. You know, just use some common sense with it, okay? So until next time, God bless you each and every one, and vaya con Dios.